Hey everybody, I hope you're well. I know that I said in my last video that would have been the last video that I would have made on this channel, but I've decided to change my mind, and that's the freedom of democracy. And I wanted to reintroduce myself to this channel, not in terms of music, because that's not what I do anymore, although I might get the guitar out and sing a song from time to time. But I just wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind over the last few days especially, and that is sort of like where we are going in terms of a society. If this isn't your sort of video, then that's absolutely fine. Please feel free to check out. But if it is, then welcome. If I can just get one person interested in this conversation, then that's awesome. Also, just like the one you've just seen, there will be some jump cuts here and there, but I want to try and make this a bit more sort of a natural video. I'll try and not use the word from time to time. But one of the things I want to talk about is it's not necessarily in terms of politics, because as we all know, politics is so divisive, and it's so, from the left and the right, it's so divisive, and it's so sort of, it is enough to ruin people's days, their lives in some respects. Whereas I just wanted to talk more about sort of technology and where we're going, and not necessarily about, like, I'm not an expert when it comes to things like AI and social media and things, but I just wanted to talk about where we are as humans. And again, I'm no psychologist, so I can't really discuss the human psyche. And if the human psyche was up to me, it would probably be a bit more miserable, and that's not really what we want. But I was watching a cover of Landslide by Fleetwood Mac by a brother and sister duo. I'll put the links in the description below. But there was a comment on there that really, really stuck with me. It was from a few years ago, mind, so whole platforms of AI have increased exponentially since then. But I'll put the comment on the screen now. But the comment says, "This song breaks me every time. I've been with my husband for 18 years. We got married when I was 17, so he's been in my life longer than he wasn't. I literally built my whole life around him, but we're heading toward a divorce, and while I feel it's necessary, it still hurts more than anything else I've been through, and I'm scared. There isn't another song that I've heard that fits so well. This cover is exceptionally beautiful." And that really hit me, because whilst it is on a social media platform that this person has put this delicate comment on, it shows that, we are delicate as a species. So I've been married for 4 years now. I've been with my wife for nearly 5.5 years. It's something that really, really hit me, because, the whole concept of divorce is scary enough in itself. And of course, if I lost my wife, and I hope that she feels the same way about me, that it would freak me out massively. Absolutely would just terrify me. But the two words that hit me were, "I'm scared." And whether or not she was scared, or he or she was scared at the time or not, I do believe that. We have a face when it comes to social media, which is more often than not posting about the positive sides of what we're doing. If we're going on an exciting trip, or you're going on a night out, or anything exciting, we just want to post it. We want those likes. If you've successfully completed a project, you just want to get those likes, get those comments in, whereas we don't really show the darker side of ourselves. And if you haven't already noticed, this video is going to be quite a ramble. It'll be a little bit all over the place, but I'm going to try and stay on target for the topic. But yeah, it's just something that really, really resonated with me. I mean, I'm going on the biggest adventure with my wife at the moment. So we're trying to have a family, and there's a few sort of medical issues that get in the way of that. But also we're going on a really exciting trip to New Zealand in a few weeks, which I'll be taking you along with. But yeah, that whole thing just scares me. It really, really does. And that's just something that I wanted to talk about when it comes to being sort of connecting with each other again. I know people, whether or not it's my pessimistic point of view in terms of people are just stuck to their phones, and I'm including myself into that. I mean, I was watching Harry Potter with my wife the other day, and the majority of that I was glued to my phone. And yeah, those are movies that I know religiously. I've been watching them since they came out. The first one came out 25 years ago, which is absolutely terrifying. But that whole time I was just sort of scrolling, endlessly scrolling. I've been trying to make YouTube videos for my various channels, all of which I'll put the description in below. And I just lose sort of interest in that, which I shouldn't, because I want to make that my life eventually. I want to make that my income. It's going to take a long time, but I do believe that I have the capabilities to do that. So I just wanted this video to be a sort of discussion type video, but also an introduction to me making videos again. And one of the other things I want to talk about as well is myself and my friend Harry, we were discussing wrestling over a WhatsApp conversation yesterday, and it was so nice just to have that sort of nostalgia trip of better times when we were kids, talking about certain times in WWE, such as like the Attitude Era. And it was a silly conversation, but it is something that really, really resonated with me. And he sent me a voice message, actually, which isn't necessarily the most insightful, world-changing, peace-forming voice note, but it was a beautiful voice note just about how he lent me a DVD back in the day in, I think it was like 2007 or something, or a bit later, about Bad Blood 2004, which is one of the WWE's old pay-per-views. And I just wanted to share it, so I hope I have your permission for this, Harry. But even though.
Also, this is one of my personal favourites. You might have a memory with this. I don't know. Your memory is probably better than mine. I'm just known for just having lapse of memory. But I had on DVD, I had Bad Blood 2004. It was just a random one that my dad went to go and get me when I was not really into wrestling from HMV. But I had that. And I don't know where it is to this day, but it was like one of my favourite pay-per-views. I'd just rinse it. It's not a very popular pay-per-view because I think they only did like 2 or 3 Bad Bloods. But there's HBK versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell. It's like it's like, I want to say it's like an hour and a half, and it's like grueling. It's such good sportsmanship. Like from a sportsmanship standpoint, it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. I don't know what I was getting to. I don't know. I feel like I lent that to you, but I could be wrong. Let me know.
To me, that is a beautiful voice message. Just because, again, it reminds us of better times when we were kids and we could just not stop talking about the Attitude Era, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker. All of these characters were our heroes at the time. And yeah, we were only infants when the Attitude Era was there, but it reminded us of like nostalgia, and that's something that as technology moves forward, people look back to in order to have better times. And the same can be said for things like music, football, movies, fashion, all of these things. Take a look at, especially in Britain, I don't know if it's the case in America or whatever, but there is definitely amongst the younger generations a huge sort of 80s/90s surge of fashion, wearing vintage, say, football t-shirts. I've got plenty of those. So many, like double denim. If you were caught in the noughties or the 2010s wearing double denim, you would be lynched. And yet, whether or not that is a sign of wanting to get back to a more sort of, a less technologically reliant world, it remains to be seen. And I remember the other day as well, I picked up a book, and after scrolling on my phone, just scrolling, listening to a YouTube video or listening to a podcast, and then suddenly I'll go, right, I'm in the mood, I want to step away from the phone, let's pick up a book. As soon as I pick up the book, my eyes get heavy. And that's a real shame, because I really, really love reading, whether or not it's an autobiography, politics, history, philosophy, or fiction. I read through the Chronicles of Narnia books over Christmas last year, and that was because I really wanted to get into learning about the Inklings. Charles Williams, Owen Barfield, C.S. Lewis, J.R. Tolkien. They were pioneers of writing and back then sort of modern philosophy. And I really, really wanted to learn about them. And I don't know if it's just me, but I have noticed that a lot of younger people nowadays are heading towards more of a theological pathway in terms of being in touch with God, because they want to have faith in something that isn't just technology. That's something that I've definitely thought about, and it's something that I'll probably continue to think about. Well, I don't plan on converting into a born-again Christian anytime soon, but it's definitely something that's worth thinking about. Because if people do not have faith in the overlords of ChatGPT or Claude or Meta or all of these, or TikTok or any of these sort of social media brands or AI brands, and they're looking towards the old faithful in the man upstairs, then I don't know if it's just me, but I think there's something beautiful in that. I really do. Even such things as the other day, I was searching through my phone and I had an idea. I was like, okay, right, I need to research this. I need to research this in order to get my YouTube videos back into progress. And what happened? As soon as I picked up my phone, I forgot the idea. Literally, I just had the phone in my pocket like that. I picked it up and I was like, oh, I've forgotten the idea. That's scary. And that's scary for somebody that's just about to turn 30, because I start to think about early onset dementia, even though that's not a thing for me. But it's something because I'm so wired into this that it's just, this is more of a sort of first step into sort of getting myself not away as such, but less dependent on that to function, which, to be honest, is quite scary. But yeah, I know this has been a bit of a ramble, but this is just the tone of the video. It's just a conversation starter. It's just an idea. There's a plane coming up somewhere. There it is, there. Don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you managed to see that. But that is one of the most beautiful things that you can see. It's been a beautiful summer here in the UK. It hasn't rained hardly at all. The grass is feeling a huge drought because it has only rained for maybe a couple of hours in the last 2 months. It's a beautiful thing. We've had sunshine. We've had lots and lots of positive things happen alongside other troubles elsewhere, politics-wise. We don't want to talk about that. It feels like we're still hooked into the technological matrix. And once again, I'm a sod for this because, I can't go anywhere, especially when it comes to things like going out in public and having a pair of these in, listening to like an album or an audio book or a podcast. And then that means I'll have to listen through here, because it's the only sort of Bluetooth device that I've got. And so I want to try and take myself away from it. But it's a conversation starter. This video is a conversation starter. What do you think about this? Where do you think we are headed in society at the moment? We're so technologically reliant on phones and social media hits, dopamine hits. And actually we just need to take a step back and just sort of enjoy what we have before it's taken away. But on that topic, being a complete hypocrite, I've got a few other social media platforms to plug. So I've got my YouTube channels, Richmond Rovers, which is my football channel, Wes Listens To, which is a brand new music channel. I'm going to be listening to old albums as well as new to sort of get a reaction, albums that I've never listened to before. I just want to broaden the musical palette that I have. And Wes Watches, which is where I react to films that I've either never watched or films that I do watch. So all of these, minus Richmond Rovers, are sort of request based. So if you want me to watch a film or listen to an album that I've never heard before, then please let me know down below. I will plug all of these and then get back to work in relation to these projects. Enough of the admin, enough of the waffling. If you like this video, but if you want another sort of conversational, you know, what the hell's going on in here type video, then please let me know down below. Let me know what you think of where we're going as a society when it comes to technology, where it comes to community. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. And I'm just going to try and keep on chugging. Until then, cheers everybody.